Hello, my friends, and Happy New Year. Here's to a wonderful 2022. After the last 2 years, we deserve it for sure. I am coming to you today just to talk about some of my goals and ambitions for 2022. I don't like to use the word resolutions. I like to use the word goals just because, I don't know, resolutions never seem to work out for me. But if I set some goals, and even if I don't meet those goals entirely, if I halfway meet them, at least it's something. I feel like for me with a resolution that if I don't meet it all the way, it's kind of a failure. I know it's just playing with words, but it's how I feel. So I just wanted to share with you, recap my goals last year that I came to you with, and let you know what I have planned for this year. Funny, they're pretty darn similar. So does that mean I did good or not so good? Let's see. So I have last year's planner here. And in the beginning, I wrote down all of my yearly goals. And one of the first yearly goals was to hit the Apple Watch challenge goal every month. If you don't have an Apple Watch, what happens is on the first of every month, you get a little message to your watch, and it gives you some sort of fitness challenge, and it is specific to you. It's not like, not everybody gets the same thing. It could be walk or run X amount of miles. It can be burn X amount of active calories, meaning when you're exercising. It could be exercise X amount of minutes, or close your little rings. That's the thing on the Apple Watch. Like there's a stand ring, an exercise ring, and a calorie burn ring. Close all your rings X amount of days. It could be anything. And last year, my goal was to do it every single month. And I'm happy to report that I did. Like in January, I had to go 119 miles. In February, I had to burn 21,700 active calories. In May, I had to exercise for 3,100 minutes, things like that. So some of them were not easy. Some of them, it was the last day of the month and I was down on the treadmill running or doing something, to try to get that award. Other ones I did really quickly and had time to spare. So I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun and it really motivated me to move a little bit. So that is another one of my goals for next year, is to once again meet every challenge. Now, they also give you special challenges. Like they do a ring in the new year challenge. They also do on February 14th, a heart smart challenge. And in March, they do an International Women's Day challenge. Now, they're all the same for everyone. And I will be happy to say that I did all of the special challenges also. So that was a lot of fun. And they're all the same for everyone. So we kind of all did those together as a family, and it was neat. So that is my goals again for next year, is to definitely do that. So it was successful last year. I want to make it successful this year. Another goal last year was to maintain between 135 and 138. For most of the year I did. Right now, I'm 141. I was up as high as 143. My Weight Watcher goal weight is 146. I am not comfortable at 146. I don't feel good there. I need to be a little lighter, for myself. It's just how my body feels. I try not to let the number on the scale dictate me. I know where I feel good. I mean, I got down at one point during quarantine to 129. And let me tell you, I did not feel good. I was way too light. I was way too low. I did not feel good at all. I wasn't trying to do it. It just kind of happened. So you can it can go both ways. You can have a couple extra pounds on and you don't feel so good, and you can have too much off and you don't feel good. And I have found that between 135 and 138 is a perfect place for me. So I have a little bit of work to do to get back down there. And that's what I plan on doing. I want to be at about 8 pounds under my goal. Another one last year was to organize my receipts better because of YouTube. Because I make money from YouTube, my tax return has to reflect, my YouTube income and my YouTube expenditures. There's a lot of receipts because you don't realize how much stuff that you can write off, how much stuff that you can claim and stuff like that. So I was doing so good up until about May. So I got a lot of work to do in the next couple of weeks when Doug wants to start our taxes. So yeah, I did great up until May. So at least I only have half a year to worry about. But I'm going to try again next year because you know what? I didn't fail. I didn't accomplish it completely, but I did better than I did the year before. So maybe this year I'll do better than I did last year. So I need a new system. I had bought a thing at the Dollar Tree. It was like a plastic envelope with like 12 things. It wasn't big enough for all my receipts. So I need a little bit of a different system. So I'm still kind of figuring out what I want to do. I want something simple. I know I should probably do something digitally with like uploading receipts and all, but I'm not good with digital. I'm better with paper, believe it or not. So I'm working on that. Also last year, for some personal goals, not necessarily WW related, I wanted to get better with my daily prayer and increase my prayer life. And I definitely did that through the help of devotionals, through the help of my husband, praying together more and things like that. And I'm sure that's all part of him going through the deacon training. But I definitely did that. Not that there's not always room for improvement for that for me, because there is. So I definitely will keep improving on that, but I am thrilled with the way that goal turned out. The next one was less screen time. Womp womp. Huge fail there. Yeah. I probably increased my screen time, to be honest with you. And I'm not talking just with YouTube work. I'm talking with, watching YouTube videos and maybe playing a game here or there and scrolling on Facebook and scrolling on Pinterest. So I have a long way to go. Now, granted, a lot of the screen time was work. Like a lot of the work on the website. The website takes me a long time. And now with the personal points, it takes me even longer because I have to make sure it's correct in the WW app so I can link that and all that. So I need to reduce my screen time, my pleasure screen time, and maybe get more efficient with my work screen time also, but definitely need to reduce. So I want to talk to Doug about that because Doug's not real great about that either. He spends a lot of time staring at a screen for pleasure. So I want to talk to him and maybe we can come up with some sort of like, at 9 o'clock, all screens get turned off, or I don't know, something, but it's a conversation to be had. So that was a huge fail for last year, and maybe this year it'll get a little bit better. We'll see. And then my other one was with my professional life. I wanted to make sure I lesson planned for the babies 1 week ahead. It was okay. It wasn't great. I still did a lot of flying by the seat of my pants. Because so many times, like, especially last year, like kids being out sick and families being quarantined and things like that, I would make all these plans and then, 2 kids wouldn't be here. And they were like the 2 older kids who that was kind of who the lesson was aimed for and things like that. And honestly, I got frustrated and just like flying by the seat of my pants. So I'm not sure. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself this year to do that. We'll see what happens. We'll see. And And that was about it as far as big yearly goals. Now, I had monthly goals every month, and they were very, WW focused. My big one was water. If you watch my channel, I struggle. I struggle with water. Still do. Still a goal. Oh, one of the other big goals last year was to change the way we eat. I completely forgot about that. That was a huge one. That was a really big one. We really wanted to go to more whole foods. Not perfect, not 100%, but definitely more whole foods. Much more from scratch cooking. We wanted to do a little bit more organic. We wanted to really cut out the sugar-free and the fat-free and the processed food. And I am very happy to say that it's a lot of work, but we have really, really embraced it. We've kind of got it down to a science now. In the beginning, it was tough. And sometimes it still is. Like, I went to make avocado toast this morning, or guacamole toast this morning for everyone, and forgot to make bread yesterday. So I had no bread, because we make all our own bread. But you know what? I had homemade sourdough English muffins in the freezer, so I pulled those out. So normally I have something. Sometimes it's not always perfect, and I still haven't made that bread. I was going to do it this morning, and then went down the rabbit hole of cleaning out the pantry. So, but I will say we have done fabulous with our eating plan when it comes to how we have changed our eating and, doing what the nutritionists and the dietitian recommend. So we're very happy with that. We can feel a difference in ourselves. We can definitely feel, we feel better. Our muscles feel better. I don't feel lethargic. I don't have aches and pains. So definitely going to continue down that path, as well as the once a month grocery shopping. That's been working out really, really well. We've saved so much money. So that's how I did last year. So like I said, this year, one of my big goals is consistency. I will be so good and so perfectly on plan. Well, as perfect as I can be. No one is 100% perfect. I will be so good for weeks and weeks, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, whoop, out the window. And I'll have like 2 gains in a row or whatever, just because I'm not consistent. If I am consistent in what I do and consistent in everything, things stay. Like all of a sudden I'll get inconsistent with, like, I won't have a special treat or a special dessert for weeks. And then what happens? Then I binge them. And it doesn't happen often, but it does happen, and it happens enough to make a difference. So I definitely want to be more consistent with that, with the way I, just the way I plan things out. And I also, and this is something I started about a month ago, and I want to, and it kind of went to hell in a handbasket over Christmas, I'll be honest with you. I want to get back into more intuitive eating. I am still doing Weight Watchers. I am still counting points. But this light bulb went off last month. If you remember, I talked about it in a video. I was like, felt like I was pressuring myself. I struggle with lunch. I struggle with what to make for lunch. I struggle with eating lunch. And then it dawned on me that I struggle with it so much because 9 out of 10 times, I'm not hungry. So I really want to be a little bit more in tune to when I am hungry. I generally have a very big breakfast because I love a big breakfast. And I don't generally eat until 9:30, 10 o'clock because it's what fits into my schedule. I'm not hungry by lunchtime. And we tend to eat dinner a little bit earlier sometimes because of Doug's school. Sometimes we have to eat at like 4:45 for him to get out the door and get to school. So I'm not hungry at lunchtime. I'm hungry by the time dinner comes. So maybe lunch will just be a bowl full of grapes or an orange or something like that. And that's okay because it's what works for me. I'm not doing it because I'm trying to cut calories. I'm not doing it because I'm trying to save points. I'm doing it just because I'm not hungry for a meal. So I really want to focus on that and really focus on the hunger cues, when I'm hungry, why I'm hungry. And I don't want to force myself to eat if I'm not hungry. Same with finishing what's on my plate. If I dish out my serving and I can't eat it all, it's okay. I give myself permission to leave it. I don't have to clean my plate. So I really want to focus on that a little bit more. And I also want to get back into running more consistently. I was consistently running 3 days a week forever. And then all of a sudden I got a little off of that. And now I'm doing more HIIT training, which is great, but I've kind of abandoned the running and I miss it. And my body misses it. I need to get back into switching things up. We did start walking 1 day a week just for something different, and I'm enjoying that. But I want to get back into running 2 days a week. So that's my plan. We'll see. That's like, they're my WW goals. As far as my personal goals, like I said, less screen time. And I want to do my savings challenge again. I did that last year. I have a printable on my website under free printables about that. It's basically the first week of the year, and you can do any amount you want. You don't have to do, I just went with the weeks of the year. The first week of the year, I save $52. Put it right from my checking account into my savings account. It works for me because I get paid on a weekly basis. If you get paid on a monthly basis or every 2 weeks, or if you're on a fixed income, it might not work for you. But if you want to come up with some sort of savings plan, you tailor it to fit your needs. And like on the second week, I save $51. On the third week, I save $50, and it goes down, 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 down until the last week of the year. I just put $1 in savings. So I've seen this a lot on Pinterest and places, and it goes the opposite. The first week you save $1, the second week you save $2. I reversed it because I know for me, in November and December, they're high spend months between Thanksgiving food and Christmas gifts and Christmas food and all the celebrations and all the food. I would rather put more money away in January and less money away at the end of the year when I'm spending more money. So I want to do that again. So I'm excited to start that again. And then my last personal goal is getting better with birthdays. Yes, I used to buy all of my birthday cards and anniversary cards at the very beginning of January, and I had every card for every family member, and I could either put it in the mail if it was one that got mailed. I could attach it to the gift if it's one that gets to a gift, and that brings me to that too. I'm getting better at that. I went out the other day and bought all the cards. I have them all stacked like this. And I'm also going to get better about buying the birthday gifts. Not, oh, well, I'm not going to see her for a couple of weeks. I'll wait. Nope. Those January gifts, they're getting purchased this week. And then the February gifts will get purchased in the middle of January, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to get better about that. So I think that is about it. My goals for the year, we'll see. If they work out, that's great. If they don't, I don't beat myself up over it. I can't, because all I can do is try. I am not perfect. None of us are. And all we can do is give it our best try. But if I have something to strive for, if I have a goal to work towards, I do better. If I don't have a goal, I'm like, well, doesn't matter if I do it or not, because, But if I have something to work for and work towards, I want to achieve that. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good about myself. So that is why I set some goals. But I do not beat myself up if I do not succeed in them. As long as I truly tried hard to do it, that's all that matters to me. So that is it for my 2021 recap and 2022 goals. Let me know down in the comments below what your goals are. Let me know what you would like to try to accomplish. Let me know if you think my goals are too lofty. Let me know if you have any of the same ones I do. How's your screen time? It's a struggle here. I'm not going to lie. It's a struggle. That's going to be the biggest, hardest one, I think. So, like I said, let me know down in the comments. Let's chat about it and see what's up for everyone. And as you always know, I am here to support you in your goals and what works for you 100%. Might not be the same way I do things, and that's okay because we're all different. But I am here for you no matter what. So have a great new year, and I will speak to you soon.